culture, and in our hearts, in our warm smiles and vast miles of coffee, dairy farmland, and amazing maize fields. It's in our inherent pursuit to always be better, to never stop growing and glowing. So you see, we are more than just a waving flag. We are a nation of sweat and skills, a nation of ideas and inventions. But what truly makes us Ugandan is our quest to improve the quality of life for Ugandans by creating sustainable jobs, businesses, and improving household incomes. That's what makes us Uganda Development Bank.
Uganda Development Bank, inspiring development.
Glow as you are with the new Spark 10 series smartphone from Airtel in partnership with Tecno. Own the timelines with picture-perfect selfies using the 32-megapixel selfie camera, 256GB storage, G88 gaming processor, and a strong battery to last the whole day. Towakana.
The Spark 10 smartphone comes with free 3GB from Airtel and 100% bonus on weekly and monthly bundles every month for 3 months. So you can stay connected to a world of possibilities. Dial *100 *5# to enjoy free data. The new Spark 10 is available in all selected Tecno shops countrywide. Airtel, the smartphone network in partnership with Tecno. Stop at nothing.
The Resol Agribusiness Show is here under the theme Revolutionizing Agriculture through Value Addition, Innovation and Technology, scheduled for 13th to 16th June 2023 at Ohinga Stadium, Fort Portal Tourism City, with a free medical camp running throughout the show. Entrance is totally free. To sponsor, partner and participate, contact 0702 301 059 or 0773 458 492 or 0773 301 059.
Iwakato, this is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes. Now, the center.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda at the best rates with the new Bona voice bundles. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with minutes valid for calls on all networks. Dial *100 *1#. Select voice bundles and select Bona voice bundles today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Jerry con. Jerry con. Hey, Master Blaster. Touch him, man. Buy Jerry con with muscle. Those ones who say go is for you only. Mundava. Best group is I teach you. But never come up with the muscari. Because of the cover is very far. Is you serious? It's just you. What? Eh? You step it on it. Add kilometers to your legs. And you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru. And Umaru refused to give you enough meat. Mama! Show him that they don't joke with you. Umaru, Jerry card.
Okakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako, n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga awamu teri kitulema.
A very good afternoon once again. This is your guest corner, and we are still with you here on UBC's Lunchtime News. Today in time, we want to engage with Uganda Development Bank. As we all remember, on 4th March 2023, UBD, that is Uganda Development Bank, launched a 50 billion shilling climate finance facility. We want to understand what it entails, so we're having a one-on-one with one of the senior officers, Green Finance. Is none other than Pius Wamala. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, let's just break it off from Green Finance. What is that? When someone out there, a layman, hears Green Finance, they don't understand what exactly this means.
Interesting. Green Finance simply means investments that target or investments of businesses that target to improve or conserve the environment, but also contribute to climate action in terms of building resilience to climate impacts such as floods, droughts, pests and diseases, but also how we reduce our vulnerabilities to these impacts. Yes. So any investment that targets to achieve that, of course, in addition to other things like improving revenues, increasing profits, generating taxes, contributing to foreign exchange coming into the country, but more importantly, reducing those vulnerabilities to the climate impacts.
Okay, so on 4th March 2023, Uganda Development Bank launched a 50 billion shilling climate finance facility. But let's throw more light on that.
The facility is a unique one. Like I've said, we target to unlock private sector investments, these businesses that of course will promote high socio-economic value, because our mandate is to actually accelerate socio-economic development of the country. But while we actually do this, do these businesses target to reduce their vulnerabilities to the impacts? We've realized floods today, and we've cut off Kampala-Masaka highway, and then we have droughts in different parts of the country, especially in the cattle corridor. Talk about the pests and diseases, the bean weevils, the banana wilt, etc. So these businesses, besides increasing their revenues, they are affected highly by these impacts of climate change.
But why don't we go back to the root cause? Because I'm thinking we are failing so much in terms of conservation and everything to do with the environment and climate. So when we say we are investing in this, I'm sure you've done enough research as Uganda Development Bank, and you saw fit that this is the area where we can actually bank the money, where we can invest more. Ugandans out there will take long to understand the issue. Uganda, what's wrong with Uganda? They put money in Senene, they put money in this, they put money in that. But just to help the layman there understand, because I know that this specific facility is targeting things like smart agriculture, issues like renewable energy. If I'm let's say rearing pigs, and the waste of pigs can be turned into something bio something. So these are some of the issues that the layman out there would want to understand.
Sure, thank you. That is quite an interesting one. One, we must note that the population has increased.
Okay. That could be
to about 48 million people now. This has driven people into things like deforestation that you've talked about.
Oh, yes.
From 24% forest cover in 1990, and now we have about 12.4%. When you look at the wetlands degradation, from about 15.6% in 1994 to about 8 something now. So all these things, you realize that the wetlands used to help us infiltrate some of this water. The forests used to help us maintain some of the temperatures.
People are encroaching on wetlands.
People have encroached on them. So actually that is now the backbone of this whole facility. Okay. So how do we get back things to normal? How do we get back the farmers to understand that, okay, the seasons have changed, but we can actually do something to tame these impacts? Yes. So talking about the priority sectors that we are targeting, climate smart agriculture is one of them. So for the businesses out there, for the farmers out there, do you want to have improved breeds of cattle that actually emit less to the atmosphere to change the seasons that we have now? Do you want to improve your pastures of fodder for the animals so that you have feeds for your animals even during the dry season? How do we manage the waste more sustainably? You've talked about the waste to wealth initiatives, where we've realized people are using the hides and skins from the animals to actually do food supplements. We've realized people are actually turning waste, the scrap, into more usable material like energy stoves. People are using the banana peels combined with charcoal dust to have briquettes.
Another kind of briquettes.
Yes, and then going back to the industries that pollute a lot, the wastewater that they generate that goes into these rivers and make this water hard to use or difficult or contaminated or unusable. Do you want to come for a waste treatment facility to help us reduce this? Do you want to have more efficient machinery whereby we can be able to use less raw materials? Because we understand most of our businesses are SMEs, over 70%, and these gain their employment from the natural resources sector. So how do we protect these natural resources to make sure they don't just serve us today, but also serve the future generations?
So this money is geared towards promoting the green economy.
Yes.
Promoting what people should call, let's be careful with our environment.
Sure.
This is what we're trying to drive out there. Okay, very interesting. But who is embracing this? Who is understanding this? An encroacher is not interested in the wetlands. What they are trying to do is make sure they fill enough garbage and soil to make sure that that wetland disappears. We have people like these people that a lot of people are spoiling the environment with or without knowing. But I'm trying to understand who is embracing this, who is welcoming this 50 billion shillings, climate finance facility.
Again, this is an interesting one. We've realized actually it is now that we are becoming more intentional and more deliberate. Most of the people that have been coming to the bank for money to invest in the green sectors
now you're talking.
have been more reactive to the impacts of climate change. The other time drought affected my crops. My animals died, and we saw this in different parts of the country, including in Toroko, farmers in the cattle corridor. And then they would come to the bank to say, okay, how do you help us develop water systems in our areas? Can you help us support construction of valley dams? Can you help us improve pastures? So people have been more reactive. And now we said, okay, if people have been more reactive, how do we make this more deliberate? How do we make our farmers more proactive?
So that means you identify who qualifies for this fund?
Sure, yes.
Okay.
Based on that eligibility criteria of, do you want to increase your adaptive capacity to these impacts? But not just who qualifies, but we are also deliberately targeting awareness and capacity building, capacity strengthening in different parts of the country through our business clinics. We have innovation hubs, innovation labs, where we actually encourage different businesses, including the large entities, the small and medium enterprises that include youth and women-led initiatives. They should come and embrace these clinics, learn something new on how to build better businesses, build sustainable businesses.
So when are these clinics available?
These clinics are usually scheduled in different parts of the country, and then we usually target the opinion leaders in these different regions to actually mobilize different community members, farmer groups, to come and be part of this session.
And as well, I think media should be part of availing that information to
media has always been part, actually. Yeah.
All right, that is very interesting. We've talked a little bit about the targeted initiatives included, like the smart agriculture. Yeah, would you want to elaborate more on that, or we can focus more on key requirements to benefit on this specific facility?
Of course, talking about climate smart agriculture, we are transforming from the traditional to now what we call climate smart agriculture. We are talking things like irrigation facilities. We are talking about things like improved breeds of animals. We are talking about drought-tolerant crop varieties. And of course, the other low carbon sectors, low carbon industries, we've talked about those and what they would actually need to qualify for this facility. But more importantly, among the other requirements that we have, including having your business registered with URBS. But we also work with farmer groups, associations, and cooperatives, because we understand some of our farmers are really informal and belong to the informal sector. But at least many of them have been organized under cooperatives, associations, circles. We are supporting those ones as well.
Okay.
In addition to that, of course, for the special programs, what we call the special programs, where we have the SMEs, the youth and the women, the requirements are less stringent.
Okay.
The security is not as tight as the mainstream that we've always had. So the main purpose for this one, or requirement for this one, is that how do you ensure, how do you demonstrate that your business, your idea, your innovation is a climate smart one, climate smart technologies that can help us manage impacts like what we've just seen, the floods, the droughts, the pests and diseases, the increasing heatwaves, along the value chains, along the supply chains of the different businesses in which we operate.
Okay, thank you so much. I think we will extend this discussion sometime next week, yeah, because it's more interesting. It's a bit of more educational. People really need to be keen and listen. But you had it from the horse's mouth. For those that would want to engage in smart agriculture, renewable energy, and sustainable waste, this facility is specifically targeting you people. We had Pius Wamala, the senior officer, Green Finance, Uganda Development Bank, and that ends our discussion. Now let's head into our sports news, where Uganda has joined the rest of the world to celebrate Kids World Athletics Day. Hosted at Kasana Playground in Luwero, the occasion coincided with the National Primary Schools Athletics Champions. Let's hear more in this report.
Uganda Athletics Federation has used the occasion of the 10th Primary Schools National Kids and Special Needs Championship to celebrate the World Kids Athletics Day. The celebrations hosted at Kasana Playground in Luwero are a World Athletics venture to help kids learn how to play, move and explore, while instilling sporting and life skills to grow them early.
So purposely it's meant to develop the child. The child has to develop holistically, fundamental skills. Those are some of the skills that this child has to acquire. That is why for us we intend to bring our children to be the part of this event, such that they learn how to socialize with a friend, to create friendship, because this is a game for fun.
This kids program for Uganda is age-old and has nurtured almost all the current crop, including Jacent Nyamahunge, who is a rare breeder sprint champion and record holder in Uganda.
World Athletic Kids Day is very important because it helps us to identify athletes, to identify talents, and this applied to me, but it wasn't at this level. What I've liked about it, that this World Athletic Kids Day is on another level, because we didn't have it during my time. I was there, but I didn't see it organized as the way it is. So it gives us a better future of tomorrow in terms of athletics.
This year's activity was fun-filled, with the kids engaged in several activities like the famous Formula One, obstacles and curves, rope skipping, cross jump, target throwing, hurdle sprints, and continuous relay.
Yes, we were celebrating athletics. Athletics is a sport, a foundation sport for all sports. We run, jump and throw event. So we are identifying talents as well as to try to build interest of kids in sports. Every child must be able to move, and that's why we're here. They must be able to move.
According to our standards here in this country, we are beginning with 12, 14 and under 16. So this one was below the 10 years were not being considered. But because of today's activities and the importance of the day, we have discovered that we had lost a lot. And therefore we have to go back and sit with the people, the managers of these schools, the nursery schools, the daycares, and design activities that fit their age and that can also be competed for to promote the game and develop the game.
The Primary Schools National Kids Athletics and Special Needs Championship has attracted 145 districts and more than 5,000 learners, whose passion and talent has impressed.
We are here for the sports because every person is uniting together, like they were at school, train together, we unite, and at our school we're together like tribe by tribe, Sudanese with Ugandans, Baganda, so I'm so happy to be here.
Also had our original concept to include, to be inclusive. We started in Banana, being inclusive, looking at our children, visually impaired children.
Kids athletics, ladies and gentlemen, is different. It is where we promote and develop talent of the young children in all skills of sports, such that a child having attained the skills in kids athletics, he can be able to undertake other sports.
When I see this large number of kids coming from all over the country and the excitement which is here, it's actually fun. For the kids, it's fun. They are doing it for fun and we are enjoying the fun. But I know as they do this, they are being inspired for the future.
The championship runs till next week with excellent performers primed for further honing to benefit Uganda. John Barnes, Sentamo, UBC News.
Well, now still in the sports world, ABSA Uganda has unveiled plans of supporting the 2023 edition of the Captain's Bell tournament slated for 20th May at the Uganda Golf Club in Kitante, Kololo, in addition to its annual sponsorship of the event. The bank's managing director, Momba Kalifungwa, says that 133 million Ugandan shillings sponsorship package will promote talent, and he believes it will empower more generations to come.
Support to this tournament through a sponsorship package of 133 million Ugandan shillings. Out of this amount, 40 million will go towards the club and the rest will go towards the event and professional prize money. This sponsorship is another opportunity for us to demonstrate our deep sense of respect for the game of golf in Uganda. Over the years, we have continued to demonstrate the respect or disrespect by constantly adding value to the game in Uganda, which has seen it grow, evolve, become better and stronger. So the commitment that we have made from last year is that our intention is to sponsor at least 10 players who are a combination of amateur players and professional players. So to the extent that we have people, at least 5 professionals qualifying, we are happy to, support them to go and attend the MKO, subject for them meeting the cut. So
to take this opportunity to thank ABSA so very much for their continued sponsorship for the Captain's Bell. This year is coming with a huge sponsorship, triple of what was given last year. So I'd like to thank you very much, and I'd like to encourage our members and members from other clubs that wish to participate to come in large numbers and enjoy.
So the tournament dates will be the 20th of May, it will be a Saturday. Then the pros will play on the 18th and the 19th this month. So we shall have our amateur players showing up on that Saturday. Expect over 200 players.
Well, and that does bring us to the end of our lunchtime news. Thank you so much for being a part of us. My name is Patricia Lukomampanga. A very good afternoon to you.